The Razer Viper Mini Wireless is finally here, but is it what people wanted? The Cobra Pro is a rebrand of the Viper Mini, even if Razer don't want to admit it. A mouse that was loved by those that wanted something small and lightweight. There's been controversy around the release of the Cobra Pro, broken promises, and blackmail. There is no blackmail actually, I just wanted a bit more drama. In this review we will see if the Cobra Pro is the Viper Mini Wireless that we have all been waiting for, or if Razer has fumbled what should have been an easy win with fans. As mentioned, the Viper Mini was loved because it was small, lightweight, and it was also very cheap. With the release of the DeathAdder V3 Pro and the Viper V2 Pro, there were regular requests for a wireless version of the Viper Mini to be released in the same style, minimalistic and competition focused. A vocal part of the gaming mouse community has been asking for it on the subreddit Mouse Review. For those unaware, it's basically a place dedicated to people posting the following: found my endgame, is X mouse still worth it, I think I have a problem, and what mouse should I buy for this grip type. Razer regularly teased people in that subreddit that the Razer Viper Mini Wireless was coming. Then they brought out the Signature Edition, which costs $280, significantly more expensive than some of the best mice on the market, and when that came out, Razer said it wasn't the last we will see of the Viper Mini. And then out of nowhere, the Cobra Pro arrived. Let's take a look at what the Razer Cobra Pro has to offer, how it compares against the Razer Viper Mini, and then we'll take a look at all the confusing things that Razer have said about it. The Cobra Pro is the same shape as the Viper Mini, give or take a few millimeters. A key difference is the weight. The Cobra Pro is 77 grams, whereas the Viper Mini is just 61. This might not sound like a lot, but could be a deal breaker for some. And Razer has decided to add rubberized sides. There are some significant changes internally, as this is a flagship Razer product. You now get the same sensor that's in the other Pro series of mice, that being the Focus Pro 30K sensor, which means that this can be used with the hyper-polling dongle sold separately for $20.99 to provide 4000 Hz polling rate. The switches are also using the third generation of Razer optical switches, which are rated for 90 million clicks, the same as the ones in the DeathAdder V3 Pro and Viper V2 Pro. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, it's compatible with the Razer Dock Pro, sold separately for $69.99. Needless to say that this mouse has been given some of the highest tier hardware available on the market today, so it should leave Viper Mini fans feeling satisfied. But there is a problem. Despite the improvements, I can see why those that wanted a Viper Mini Wireless would be disappointed. For a bit of context, this was said by a Razer representative about the Cobra Pro. The Cobra Pro is for people that were unhappy with the Viper V2 Pro that gave up on the dock, the extra buttons, rubberized grips, and yes, RGB too. They go on to say that most people don't want their mice to be completely devoid of features. You see, this is a bit confusing because the Cobra Pro is a different size to the Razer Viper V2 Pro. I think those that would be unhappy with the Viper V2 Pro being stripped and devoid of features would be really unhappy with this anyway, because it's a completely different size. It's like 7mm shorter and 3.5mm thinner, which is actually pretty significant for a gaming mouse. I can use the Viper V2 Pro comfortably for many hours without feeling any discomfort at all. Whereas with the Cobra Pro and the Viper Mini, I find it hard to use after a few hours because it's a lot smaller. And this is where it gets even more complicated, because after the Signature Edition released, they said, this isn't the only answer to the long-awaited Viper Mini Wireless, we still have more to come. We'll be tackling different price points. And that was just around 5 months ago, and it doesn't end there. To add what is a final stake to the heart, after the release of the Razer Cobra Pro, Razer said this: there are no plans to release any more mice with this shape. So really, if you consider the Razer Cobra Pro to not be a Viper Mini Wireless, the Signature Edition was in fact the only answer to the Viper Mini Wireless. So what do I think of this Razer Cobra Pro? For me, there are a couple of issues that I have with this, and one of them is actually the weight. I'm not one of those people where if it's more than 65 grams, I can't lift it and it breaks my wrists. However, because of the smaller size of this mouse, the 77 gram weight is a bit disproportionate. The other thing is the rubberized sides. To me, it's better to have plastic sides and provide rubber grips to add to the sides, because I can't exactly remove the rubberized grips now, and these can get quite slippery when it gets a bit warmer, so I am not a fan. Outside of that, the mouse is pretty great. The buttons, switches, coating and quality is fantastic, and for $129 with the improvements that this mouse comes with, I think that's a reasonable price. If I removed any relation to the Viper Mini to this mouse, I would say this is a good mouse worth purchasing if you're wanting a smaller wireless mouse. However, the weight feeling a bit abnormal for a mouse of this size is still a bit of a concern. And also the rubberized grips suck. So I'd go as far to say that this isn't the Razer Viper Mini Wireless, and I'm sure many others would agree with me. If you want a true Viper Mini Wireless, it looks like you've got to spend $280, buddy. Or if you want a new Viper Mini, well, the wired Razer Cobra is available. It's a lighter weight and has the third generations of switches. It's just not wireless. It also doesn't have rubberized sides. Maybe we will see another version of this mouse, but it seems like nobody at Razer actually knew what to do with this thing, and that's why we've got this. But there is another. A different brand made a Viper Mini wireless clone last year. There's a review on screen of that mouse now.